Hi, everybody. This is Anne Marie Licata. I am privileged to be the director of the Pennsylvania Inclusive Higher Education Consortium for this final year of our TIPSID grant at Millersville University. And today I'd like to share with you a little bit about how our consortium grew using SRV theory for program development. Integrated Studies is the program that exists at Millersville. It was started in 2014, and it is founded on the principles of social role valorization theory, which is a constructivist theory developed by Dr. Wolfensberger. The program at Millersville really is a seamless, inclusive program in every way. The students in this program are the age ranges 18 to 26, all have ID diagnoses. The curriculum is the liberal arts curriculum that exists at Millersville because students take their courses right from the course catalog. They can choose to attend for 2 years or 4 years, and students receive a university certificate when they have completed their work at Millersville. Of course, it adheres to all the Think College standards at the very highest level, and students are supported on campus in the pillars of academics, the social relational component that exists on our college campus, and also employment. So as students are in need of support for employment, coaches are helping them in that capacity as well. So I did mention that students do live on campus, and some students actually this past year have been living in apartments that are connected to the campus. Millersville's Integrated Studies does have CTP status, Comprehensive Transition Program. All right, so SRV theory. This theory is a simple theory, and it uses, Dr. Wolfensberger uses a lot of words that make you think about what you're doing very differently. So the training that I attended was a 3-day training to understand, and then there's more training beyond that. So I cannot give you a 3-day training in 10 minutes here. So let me just give you a snapshot of some of what is happening. Social role valorization is a set of ideas that are used to make positive change in the lives of people who are disadvantaged because of their status in society. So these people typically are individuals who have impairments. This theory is used with children and adults, and also sometimes with the elderly in terms of looking at how it can be uplifting to the social situation of any of these groups that I've mentioned. Now you'll notice on the screen the black words: conservatism, corollary, devaluation, image, wounding, marginalization. They all mean something in the SRV world. So to get into that, we're not able to do that, but I'm going to give you some resources at the end to talk to you about how you might be able to pursue this. The basic pillar or the understanding that I want you to walk away with is what this really boils down to is that we want the students in inclusive post-secondary education to have the good things of life, and that they are more easily accessible to people who are in highly valued social roles. So the good things of life I've identified here, and we probably all know these: owning a home, not just having a home, being in a home, but owning a home, having a family, a relationship, having friends, a job, healthcare, and the like. The term, the culturally valued analog, or the CVA, is the terminology that Dr. Thomas Newville, who is the PI for this grant, used when he began to implement this program in 2014, and probably a few months before that, to really help people on campus understand what was going to transpire with this program. Now, the CVA, we could boil it down into the term think typically. So you think typically, or think from an ordinary perspective. So every question, every decision that had to be made, we used the CVA. The question that Jan Bechtel, who is the Director of Integrated Studies, and Dr. Neuville would use on campus is, well, how do we do this for other students? That's the frame and that's the lens that has been used at Millersville. It does force the CVA. So by using that frame, it requires you to think about what the culturally valued analog is for everyone else. And the second thing that it does, which I really appreciate, is the fact that it drives the cultural sustainability of a program when we use this term, because what it does is it forces us to use existing departments on campus already and not create parallel programs or parallel services. It's actually more financially savvy to do this as well. It helps to embed the program. And that's the CVA. So the CVA, how could we take that CVA idea, that culturally valued analog, and using that idea of helping other programs in Pennsylvania get started? We thought about this so that others would use a term that was a term in higher education that we all knew. So that's matriculating students. I think all of us know what a matriculating student is. So when I worked with programs, one of the things that I would do is have them start to visualize what a matriculating student would experience on their campus. What happens for a student on your campus? Do students live on campus? Is that part of the culturally valued analog? So it's the idea of what would a matriculating student experience on your campus. And so as individuals at different colleges and universities started to take that question, they would then start to frame all of the decisions that they made about the development of their program by using this question. And it allows them to take that lens, that's the CVA lens, and start to think, what do matriculating students experience? And by doing this, it really starts to build an inclusive program. Lastly, some resources to move you forward. If you go to the piheck.com website, I think all of these are on there. The first one is the SRV theory, is how it's applied to inclusive post-secondary education. And typically this theory has been used in a lot of social agency work, not so much in education. So we felt that it was important as part of this grant, in terms of the training and technical assistance that we can pass on for years to come, to provide detailed modules for individuals to really dive in and take a look at what this theory is and apply it specifically to program development. So there is a 3-hour overview, which is completed, and there will be, this is in development, 10 thematic modules that align with the themes of SRV theory. And they will be on the website, the piheck.com website, for you to use. Also, Opening Doors to College is a documentary that Dan Habib helped us to create. And it actually, if you wanted to see what the Integrated Studies program looks like, I think this video pretty much sums it up in 36 minutes. It's a demonstration of the CVA and how it's been applied at Millersville and how it's applied at Temple University. The third element, or third resource for you, is a video on YouTube that my colleagues, Dr. Neuville and Jan Bechtel, created a number of years ago. And it is called Exploring the Culturally Valued Analog. It's an interview, and it's really fun to watch and very educational. It's about 10 minutes. And lastly, take a look at more SRV theory if you really want to do the deep dive and look at how this theory can be used beyond the scope of the modules that are outlined. I would encourage you to go to the website, social role valorization, all one word, .com. Dr. Wolfensberger's legacy and information is on there, as well as multiple avenues for resources and research that exists not only nationally here within our country, but also internationally in Canada, Australia, New Zealand, Ireland, India, just to name a few where SRV theory is being utilized. So I hope that helps you. Here's my contact information. I'd love to hear from you if there's anything that I can do to help you further or get more information or connect you with any of the resources that I've listed. Thanks and have a great day.